bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here.
Good morning, everybody. It has been 2 years since I made homemade cleaning supplies, natural cleaning supplies, and it is time for me to refill them. So I thought I would bring you along and let you in on what's in them. I know I did this before, but it's been a few years, and in case you were interested in natural cleaning supplies, this video is for you. If not, you'll be bored and you can move along. Another thing that's worth noting is that it's been 2 years since I have purchased any cleaning supplies, and the only thing that I ran out of was peroxide. The ingredients in these homemade cleaning supplies are very, very cheap, and so it will cut your budget down immensely on buying cleaning supplies. And they're also pet friendly. The one thing you need to be careful of, because they're all natural, the one thing you need to be careful of is the essential oil you choose to use. You want to double check for your fabric refresher and your disinfectant and your air freshener if it's pet safe or not before you use it, if you have cats and dogs and possums and squirrels in your house or whatever you have. What you will need: lemon juice and white vinegar. You want to use white vinegar because it's going to be also for your glass cleaner, and you don't want things to ferment. And any kind of standard straight up lemon juice, 100% lemon juice. Baking soda and rubbing alcohol. You can also use vodka in place of rubbing alcohol, but I prefer this to be a most often, other than an occasional glass of wine, a non-substance household. So we're using rubbing alcohol, but you can use a shot of vodka in place of this, just FYI. If that's what you have around, that's what you have around. Castile soap, or some other preferred brand of your favorite. Castile soap. Last time I used Castile soap that already had eucalyptus in it. Eucalyptus is a natural disinfectant. This time I got a sample pack for myself because I use it for so many things, including bathing. And it came with peppermint. Peppermint smells good, but when you use peppermint to bathe with, whoo, you know, that fresh, clean, minty, toothbrushy, cold feeling, like biting a York peppermint patty on arriving at the top of a mountain. It kind of feels really funny. So I don't like to bathe with it, so I'm going to refill my cleaning supplies with it, but any natural concentrate cleaning supply. And as I mentioned, you're also going to need peroxide, but I've used mine up. But the thing that I need to refill that involves peroxide doesn't need refilled. So 2 years on, I still don't need to buy anything. And some essential oils. Again, check to make sure that your essential oil is pet friendly if you have pets. And children friendly, of course. But this, if you're putting it in your diffuser or anything else, you should already make sure it's human friendly. I think you know that. The scents that I use, because I'm a little bit of a hippie, I like patchouli and clove, tea tree and eucalyptus. You're going to need tea tree and eucalyptus because the tea tree and the eucalyptus are disinfectant and they're going to be essential oils. However, the patchouli and the clove are just what I chose for my fabric refresher and my air freshener because they're scents that I like. You're welcome to pick whatever you prefer. Orange, lemongrass, lavender, any of those things. You can also use lavender oil with water to make a spray that you spray around your bed to help you sleep at night because lavender relaxes us. People use a diffuser and you can also just sort of spray it around the room. But you will need tea tree and you will need eucalyptus. When I did this originally, I bought just a cheap set on the internet. I still have not touched lemongrass. I think I might have put orange in my scrubbing soap. And then there's peppermint again. The lavender I've been using in my diffuser. And the others I have been using in my cleaning supplies. But if I want extra, you can get these pretty cheap. And just about any place you think might have essential oils. They're really easy to find. This was actually the most expensive item, but again, it's been 2 years and I still have plenty, even of the ones that I use. This is mopping solution. Pretty straightforward. You don't need a fancy container. I got a fancy container because it came with the glass bottles that I bought. I went ahead and decided if I'm going to do it, I'm going to invest wholeheartedly into doing it if they're going to be hanging around my house for a few years, potentially indefinitely. If I liked it, I was going to invest in it. So I got this for mopping solution, and mopping solution is 1/4 of a cup Castile soap, 1 1/2 gallon of hot water. This is the only thing that involves hot water. That is why it is empty. Is because I fill it as I use it, and then I pop it under the sink. I usually just put 1/4 a cup of Castile soap right in here, and then as I mop, I add the hot water just straight out of the tap, use it, put it back under the sink, and call it good until the next time that I mop. You don't have to use a fancy bottle. You can use any jug, mop bucket, whatever it is you use to mop. Just 1/4 of a cup of your concentrated cleaning to 1 1/2 gallons of water. So it does not take much. You don't want a sticky floor. Also important, distilled water. You don't want regular water because regular water rots. If you've ever sat a glass around, natural bacteria and other things grow in it, and you don't want your homemade cleaners to rot. So other than the mop bucket, or jar, or whatever you choose to use. Use distilled water. I bought 3 gallons. I still have 2. They last forever, and they will keep your products fresh. And they're, again, super cheap, but it will prevent your products from rotting. You don't want bacteria growing in your cleaning supplies. It defeats the purpose. This is what I should have used my pretty jug for. This. But I used up all my vinegar. So I decided to just use my vinegar jug. It lives under my bathroom sink. Nobody sees it, so whatever. This is bleach alternative. I'm actually allergic to bleach. If I use bleach, I break out in hives all over. So this was kind of an essential. You're going to want a 1/4 cup of lemon juice, 1 cup of peroxide. So a 1/4 cup of lemon juice, 1 cup of peroxide. I believe I should probably include the list and ingredients in the description box below, so you guys don't have to track back to each section of the video for anything you might actually want to make. But yes, it's really surprised me how effective this stuff is. I've been using it to clean my bathroom for years. It is very effective, and surprised me how effective it was compared to bleach. And to make it a little more sanitizing, I also use teatree and eucalyptus in my disinfectant spray when I clean my bathroom, because I just, you know, I know this whitens and it's got peroxide, but I just want to clean bathrooms, so I use my disinfectant spray and my bleach when I clean my bathroom. Let's just run down the list, shall we? Glass cleaner. Unfortunately got some gook on it. Glass cleaner is vinegar and water. There's no amount, because you're gonna want, another reason again why you're gonna want white vinegar. It can leave a film behind it, so it does not take much vinegar to clean, like my glass table over there. It doesn't take much, but it can leave a greasy film behind it, so you're gonna want to test and trial how much you need for your surfaces, vinegar compared to water, to make a nice clean surface versus a streaky surface. And some people don't like using vinegar in things because they believe their house smells like a pickle, but that is why we have essential oils in our disinfectant spray and air freshener and everything else. You don't want to put it in this because it doesn't mix well and it will potentially stain up your glass, which is the opposite of what you want from a glass cleaner. Let's do these two. It's getting to be spring. Clearly I'm in a dress. This is garden and plant bug spray. Because Castile soap is human and pet friendly, it's also plant friendly, which is handy as we're all starting gardens, some of us anyway, or just have house plants. It's also plant friendly and not going to affect any little bunnies or whatever, or your cat if they like to eat your house plants. But it will spray for bugs, which is handy. It is just 1 tablespoon of Castile soap to a quart of water. This is about the most diluted one you're going to make because you don't want to kill your plant, so you don't need much. But that's just the distilled water and the soap. Scouring soap, because sometimes stuff just don't come off. Scouring soap is Castile soap and baking soda. You can see in the bottom, I don't know if you can see that through that. Let me move out the way of my ceiling light here. There is no water in this at all. It's just a goo at the bottom of Castile soap and baking soda. Again, there's no exact measurements here. You just want enough for it to be a nice consistency, the kind of consistency you would expect from a scouring soap, kind of, I don't know, thick like lotion with all the scouring capacity in it. And I just use a toothbrush, an old toothbrush, and you can scrub every little nook and cranny, or those things that don't come off very easily with this. I also added orange essential oil just because I wanted it to smell nice. So there's that. Woo! Gonna drop some stuff. Disinfectant spray and all-purpose cleaner. You squat. Disinfectant spray. Vinegar, peroxide, water, eucalyptus, and teatree. I did not write the measurements. There are measurements for this. But I'll look through my recipe book that is still under the pantry and affirm this for the description. But disinfectant spray, vinegar, peroxide, water, eucalyptus, and teatree. Vinegar is cleansing, peroxide is disinfecting, eucalyptus oil and teatree oil are disinfecting, and distilled water. So this has 3 natural disinfectants and distilled water so it doesn't rot. The all-purpose cleaner is 1/4 of a cup of Castile soap, or your favorite, Dr. Hansen's I believe is another one, concentrate natural non-harmful soap, to 1 quart of water. Now, and I also put in hemp eucalyptus was the kind of Castile soap I used originally when I made these. Just so you know, it's on the back here, and I wondered why. That's why. It's been a long time since I actually looked at anything more than what it's for. So, yes, hemp and eucalyptus was the Castile soap that I chose. But all-purpose cleaner, 1/4 a cup of Castile soap to 1 quart of water. And they are in these brown jars. If you really want to go all in. I chose the brown jars because they are tinted this way. You can also get them in blue, not clear, because they are protecting your cleaners from degradation from light. So they're already protected to a large degree because of the distilled water and the ingredients. But to further keep them fresh, because they last a really long time, they're effective and they last a long time. You can get these tan glass bottles or blue bottles, and they will protect from light getting in. I also bought these the same place I bought my essential oils, on the internet, for not too much. Again, this sounds like an expenditure, but how much are we spending on cleaning supplies constantly? And then we have like 42 cleaning supplies under our sink for things, and then we end up needing to clean our cleaning supplies because they get dusty and nasty underneath the sink, and we never use them. You will use these, and you don't have to worry about the chemicals and all the other things in your house. And once you make the expenditure, I haven't, like I said, spent a nickel in 2 years, and so it's worth the initial investment. That last two, fabric refresh and air freshener. These two are the two that I need to refill because I use the heck out of them because they smell pretty. Oh, so pretty. And I like them, so I use the heck out of them. Again, you want to double check that the essential oil that you choose is safe for your pets and your kids and your neighbors and yourself. But everything else should be fine. I chose clove oil and patchouli oil for my fabrics refresh, and just clove oil for my air freshener. So my sofa smells like patchouli and cloves. And if I need an extra dose, my air freshener is straight clove. I just love those scents. A little offbeat, but it's me. You might prefer something else like lavender. But again, I did not include my measurements, but I will in the description. Fabric Refresh is clove oil, patchouli oil, rubbing alcohol, and distilled water. And when I fill these, I should probably put the amounts on so I know next time. And my air freshener is clove oil, rubbing alcohol, and distilled water. These are the only two that involve the rubbing alcohol. And as I said, I don't ask me why, I don't remember how much rubbing alcohol, but I'm assuming it's an equivalency, but it might not. But for some reason I remember how much vodka, 1 shot of vodka. And when it comes to the essential oils, you only need just a few drops. They go a long way. The bottles look tiny. You're thinking you're going to be spending on this all the time. You just need a few drops and the whole thing will be scented. I used a few extra drops when it came to my disinfectant and my all-purpose cleaners, because I want the strength of the tea tree and the eucalyptus to be effective rather than to just have the scent. And these are just specifically fabric refresh and air freshener just for the scent. But really it does not take much essential oil to make a bottle. So fabric refresh clove oil, but you can use whichever oil you want, and patchouli oil, rubbing alcohol or a shot of vodka, and distilled water, air freshener, clove oil, and or whatever you want, rubbing alcohol or a shot of vodka, and distilled water. I think I've said everything I can say about this. I'm going to refill the two that need to be refilled, but I have a bonus if you've hung out till the end. I also have something else that needs to be refilled. This has also lasted me an eternity. I was in a big kick of making natural products a few years ago, and I kind of fell out of it, unfortunately. I was also cooking natural vegan stuff, and I kind of fell out of that too. I need to get back into both, but I have not stopped using the products that I had already made, and this has lasted me an eternity. This is dry shampoo. As most of us know, it's not the best for our hair to wash it every single day. It dries it out. I didn't learn that until way too late in life, but wash yourself, don't wash your hair every day. If you want to just get the top here looking fresh washed, you want dry shampoo. or if you're out camping or anything like that and you're not able to take a shower and you don't want to look filthy, dry shampoo. This is so simple to make. All you need is cornstarch. It's open and I didn't realize it. If you are a blonde, literally, it's just cornstarch. And you just use a makeup brush, like for your cheeks, dab it in, and use your fingers to get it through your hair. All around the roots and your part, wherever you put it in the back here, and just rub it through with your fingers and a makeup brush. Just straight up cornstarch. So much healthier than all those other dry shampoos or products with all the chemicals they have right on your scalp, embedding into your brain. If you're blonde, cornstarch. If you are a brunette, I don't have any in the house, so I can't show it, but you are smart, you know what it is. Baking cocoa. Cornstarch really doesn't have a smell, so you don't have to worry about having not, smelling any kind of way. If you are a brunette, dark hair, black hair, you want to use baking cocoa and mix that in this until it is dark brown. And then a little bit of this goes a long, long way, so don't powder the top of your head so that you look like you powdered the top of your head. That's why a little makeup brush is plenty, and then just dust it out with your fingers. And you'll smell like hot chocolate. So that's not a problem. If you're a redhead, it gets a little more complicated. When I tried to make this for myself, I had to get a little creative. I particularly love pumpkin pie and anything that smells like it or tastes like it. So that is an option, pumpkin pie spice. But a much more acceptable option for many people, they don't want to smell like pumpkin pie, is cinnamon. And just the tiniest bit of paprika. You're just a little bit of cornstarch and then a lot of cinnamon. It took me to get this to a consistency and color that would match my hair. An entire bottle, 3-ounce bottle of cinnamon. So I'm going to remake this too with an entire 3-ounce bottle of cinnamon. I don't know if you can see the color of that with the color of my hair. Not a bad match. And you can also put in just the tiniest, I'm talking the tiniest amount of paprika, because paprika is bright red. The trouble with paprika is that it does have a rather strong smell. And so I'm talking a pinch of paprika as compared to an entire bottle of cinnamon. And you will smell like a cookie. And it's okay to smell like a cookie. It's actually quite nice. I have never once had a complaint, young, old, men, women, about the way that my head smells. In fact, I've got some compliments. So that's dry shampoo. That's your bonus for hanging out with me for nearly half an hour. I'm not flipping you off. Better put my other fingers out. Woohoo! And we're done. I'm going to make these now in fast speed.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, world seems small, we can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.